M3GAN 2.0 is directed by Gerard Johnstone, and this is the sequel to the 2023 campy horror film, M3GAN. Set 2 years after the events of the first film, M3GAN has been rebuilt by her creator Gemma to take on this new AI robot named Amelia, who's planning to take over the world by using AI technology. Now, this film, I had a lot of expectations for this movie because, as you guys know, if you've seen my review, I've been following me for quite some time, I really liked the first one. I thought the first M3GAN is such a fun horror movie. For what it is, it has that dark horror vibe, but it also has that campiness to it, the right mixture of both campy, but yet has that fun aspects of the horror genre, which I did quite like. It's from Blumhouse, so of course we're getting a sequel, which is out now. So here are my general thoughts on the movie. After seeing M3GAN 2.0, I was left somewhat mixed on this movie. I was very mixed on this movie. Now, it's kind of like a disappointment for me, but also it's not a complete disappointment or disaster. But there is some positive things about it. I will say this now. I would say Gerard Johnston's directing here is still good. I think it's really solid. He still captures that direction and the cinematography-wise and certain imagery does look amazing. And of course, the acting performances all around from Alison Williams and Violet McCraw, I think that's the actress' name, who plays Katie. So both Alison Williams and Violet McCraw as Gemma and Katie, both of them are great. I do like those two. I think they both chemistry worked so well. And I think they both, delivered some great performances and dialogues exchange, which I do think I appreciate. And there are character arcs in this film. It's about them trying to, just trying to get along. And, since they are becoming close, but Gemma's been focused on other stuff, has to deal with this other thing, and that's just keeping away from Katie, and then Katie's kind of a bit fused with her. So you do get that tension between those two, but all Gemma wants to do is try to keep Katie safe, also try to be there for her as much as he can, despite all that stuff's going surrounding with her. And of course, M3GAN, voiced by Jenna Daves, M3GAN is M3GAN. As far as her character goes, she has her moments, she has her funny lines and her quippy jokes, and some of the humour in this film is still there. It's watchable. You get some good laughs. I did got some chuckles throughout, but I do think some of the humor doesn't work. But most of it, I got some good few amount of laughs. There were moments I was chuckling. There were a couple of times I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of funny. But for the majority of it, I got some laughs. And some of the kills are pretty decent. But again, I'll say it to the negatives. But the rest of the cast did their best. There are some enjoyable moments. There are some cool scenes. But however, as far as the story goes, now this is where my positive stops. Let's just get right to the negatives. The negatives are, the story itself is a bit of a underwhelming. I felt underwhelmed. It doesn't really get much attention. This is a 2-hour movie. I was kind of hoping maybe they could have asked a few things to expand the story, but it felt a bit underwhelming. It felt undercooked. It didn't really get much attention. Now, there's some good ideas in there, but the way they execute the story, it wasn't very well executed for how they use an AI story, which AI stories doesn't bore me that much. We can explore that AI part of it, how to use AI properly without making it more negative than the positive. But again, it doesn't really develop it that much. I wish they could have expanded upon it a little bit more. And certain scenes, like how certain kill shots, well, the kills are pretty decent, but it kind of shy away from it, and it's kind of like they're just rushing or glossing over a few things. It doesn't give much time to develop on them, that's the biggest disappointment. That's kind of like a downgrade, you know what I'm saying? And if you compare it to the first one, the kills in there are pretty good, but you watch the unrated cut, which I'm assuming that will happen in the second one when it comes out on physical media, on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K. You get the unrated cut, which I'm assuming will be the same thing. You get to see more blood or see more violence, which I hope they will, because if you do that with M3GAN, I'm sure they'll do the same thing for M3GAN 2.0. As far as the tone of the tone itself is kind of bizarre in a certain way. I will say this, I do appreciate its campiness, but I did feel like it's an inferior, because now when I heard they're going to do like a Terminator 2 2.0 type of movie, I remember going like, oh, okay, this could be interesting. Now, it could work. I think it could work in a certain way, but the way they handle that stuff, it wasn't very well executed. It just come across, the first movie, it's like a horror vibe type of movie, but then when we get to the sequel, it's more of an action spy comedy there is some horror elements, but it's not really that scary. It just felt very more campy, like over the top orness or something. But again, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind being this film being campy, but I just wish they could have executed the issues of it really well. But it just came across as inferior to the original. I don't know if it was Blumhouse's idea or maybe Gerard Johnstone wants to go in that direction instead of following what came before, which that's kind of a letdown. Again, M3GAN 2.0 is not a bad movie per se. It's not a disaster. It's not a flop. But I just felt the film itself was just so underwhelming. It is kind of a disappointment, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting it to be as great a sequel, but I was kind of hoping it could still be a competent sequel, because this is like a sequel curse type of problem. How a certain movie from the original is such a great film, but when you try to do a follow-up, it's kind of difficult. You can hit the light and kind of not hit the same place. Sometimes it has to hit differently. But I wish the sequel could have been good. Not a bad movie per se, but it's watchable. I was very mixed on it. There are some enjoyable moments. There are some great scenes. Unfortunately, M3GAN 2.0 is a bit of a downgrade and also not much of an upgrade either. It's also an inferior to the original film. And that's kind of sad part of it. I'm going to give M3GAN 2.0 a C. Not a bad movie per se, but it's just fine. It's alright. You can sit and watch it, have a good time, but there's not much to talk about. Overall, guys, comment down below and tell me, what do you think of M3GAN? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you think it's alright, or do you hate it? Whatever the case is, comment down below and tell me what you think. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, see ya.